What's up, folks? It's Highlight Hendo here. I just wanted to thank everybody for getting my channel to over 100 subscribers in such a short period of time. I was really surprised, and I'm really thankful for you guys for watching the content. I plan on making a lot more. Raider Nation is a family to me. I love talking with you guys in the comments, and I love talking with you guys on Twitter. So go ahead and give me a follow over there. Click subscribe, hit like, drop a comment down if you like it. If you don't, I don't care. I just love making the content, and go Raiders. Let's fucking win, baby. Just win. Back to the video. The autumn wind is a raider, smoking that McZiegler pack as he laughs when he's conquered and won. The Raiders are smoking fat up in the locker room after another well-fought victory against the Jets, winning 16-12 and scoring the only touchdown of the game. The Raiders finally won a game that they were supposed to win. No more get right game. Oh, the Raiders. Oh, that's going to be the dub for sure. Oh, we getting a dub for sure. No, you got to earn that. People thought the momentum was gone under Coach Antonio Pierce, but the Raiders found a way to win. We had Illuminor at left tackle and Mumford at right tackle. I think it was obvious from watching the game that Colton Miller wasn't playing, but it was surprising to see Jacobs get over 100 yards on the ground with a makeshift offensive line. Some people didn't see Colton get hurt last week against the Giants, and I didn't either. But I think he must have taken a hit towards the second half. He looks like he may not have had full mobility of his right shoulder. He seems to kind of hold guys off with his left hand a little bit more. Of course, these are football players, and who knows what they do at halftime or on the sideline to be able to play games or sleep at night. But even with all the drugs he could take, he seemed to be in a ton of pain. Adrenaline and drugs only go so far when you're literally tearing your body apart. I totally don't blame him for not playing. I was just surprised to see Jacobs get 100 yards with this makeshift offensive line. It shows how tough the Raiders are under Antonio Pierce. If Colton Miller misses another game before the bye week, we could be in some deep shit. We face the #1 teams in the AFC East and West before our bye week. The Dolphins are 6-3 and the Chiefs are 7-2. But the Raiders can beat anybody, no matter what their record is. I think if we can handle the Jets defense, then the Dolphins shouldn't give us as much trouble. But their secondary is not to be taken lightly. Going from Sauce Gardner to Jalen Ramsey is definitely an upgrade. Sauce has 2 career interceptions and Ramsey has 20. I know people say he's not the same Jalen Ramsey, but this dude is a veteran cornerback who can have more of an impact in games than Marcus Peters does for us. This Dolphins team is a better and more balanced team than the Jets. So we're going to have to play our most complementary brand of football while also smashing their teeth in. The Raiders offense dialed up a few good plays on Sunday, like an interesting 4th and 1 conversion from DeAndre Carter, and it really shook the Jets up. Even when plays broke down, Aiden made the only touchdown pass of the game to Michael Mayer in the back corner of the end zone. O'Connell really showed some poise and seemed way more confident this week. I think it really showed that he was practicing with the ones a lot more. He was able to improve over the course of the week, and if he continues to do that throughout the season, he could be a starting quarterback, hopefully for the Raiders. Do you think Illuminor should have played left tackle, or should it have been someone else? Should we start playing some practice squad guys like Natane Moody or Brandon Parker? I think once we start getting the injury report, it'll be a lot easier to kind of figure out where we're going to go from here. Speaking of injury, Tyler Hall really stepped in for Amik Robertson after he left the game with a concussion, and it was a pretty nasty hit. Hall should be in the rotation a little bit more because he has good vision and knows how to tackle. I'm not saying Amik is bad, I just forgot how good Tyler Hall is. No matter what, we're going to need speed in the secondary to beat these Dolphins, and I'm not sure if we have it. Jacorian Bennett has looked better since getting benched for Amik, but is he fast enough? Who's going to be fast enough to stop Tyreek Hill? If Amik does come back, which it's looking like he might not because he could be in concussion protocol, I think Tyler Hall should be in the rotation a little bit more. But I don't know who's going to keep up with the Cheetah. On a side note, I do want to see Trey Tucker and Tyreek Hill race. I feel like that would be really interesting. As for the game, it's going to have to be a race to touchdowns because Miami is not letting their foot off the gas one bit. One reason the Dolphins offense is burning so much gas is because as good as their defense might seem, they still are kind of sluggish. Sluggish to make a play, sluggish to tackle. Sometimes they over pursue a little bit on the pass and the run. And with as much as they might miss tackles, it just kind of looks like the defense is waiting for the offense to come back on the field and win the game. They did sack Patrick Mahomes 2 times, and one of them being a fumble, which they scooped up. But when they play teams that have passion, they still seem a bit intimidated. The Dolphins have 29 sacks and 4 interceptions. The Raiders have 26 sacks and 9 interceptions. I think it'll be a pretty fair matchup, especially with the new scheme that we seem to be running. I think the way this defense is improving, hopefully we can prevent Miami from putting on a clinic. I know we won't stop them from making every explosive play, but I think the Raiders will be able to hold their own. The Dolphins have had their bye week to recover from the loss in Germany and the time change, as well as prepare for the Raiders. Las Vegas has done a good job of not being get-right games for the past 2 weeks. Everyone thought Daniel Jones was going to come in and make a fool of the Raiders. We all saw how that turned out. And then you have the New York media saying that the Jets defense was going to smoke O'Connell and eat him for lunch. I think he'll be eating those words all week. People have already written off the Raiders, so who's to say that every other team hasn't written us off for their calendar already? Some teams might be on notice, especially after Sunday night, but if they're not, we're going to let them know on Sunday. I hope Fireman Ed had a nice silent ride back on the plane to New Jersey. Let's keep the streak going. Underdog comes out on top. We're done being everybody's get-right game. Just because you lost last week doesn't mean you're locked in for a W against the Raiders. Like I said, you're going to have to earn that win. Our dudes play with broken hands, having surgery right after in another game, and then we still pick off your quarterback. Go ahead, Robert Spillane. This is where I would do my underdog fantasy ad read if I had one, but I don't. Nonetheless, the Raiders and Aiden O'Connell have another full week to prepare and practice for a really, really good football team. The more Aiden works with Adams and the ones, the more chemistry we're going to be able to see on game days. Josh Jacobs hopefully gets another play call sheet that he can cherry pick his favorite runs from and let Bo know which way to go. The most important piece of the puzzle to us scoring points is going to be the offensive line. Aiden is going to have to get the ball out quickly with a clean pocket. Once the Dolphins establish dominance at the line of scrimmage, their pass rushers make a huge disruption, even if they don't get home. If Colton Miller isn't going to play, they need to figure that out sooner rather than later and practice with the line they're going to use in the game. We already know the defense is going to have to show up again like they have all season. I sure hope Pastor Graham has been studying this Miami defense since the beginning of the season, because McDaniel has been drawing up some actual offensive genius that can slump any defense any week. Obviously, it hasn't always worked against the teams with winning records, but statistics are not in our favor with this one. But we're the Raiders, and we don't care about statistics. We take what we want, and we don't play by the rules. The Raiders are currently second in the AFC West at 5-5. The Chiefs lead the division with their 7-2 record. The Broncos just beat the Buffalo Bills on Monday night, and now they might as well be tied for third with the Chargers. It seems like it's a race to second in the AFC West, but I think the Chiefs might actually be able to get knocked out this year, either in the regular season or in the playoffs. Either way, I don't think they're making it to that Super Bowl. Basically, my take is that the Chiefs don't make it to the Super Bowl because there are so many teams that are starting to look competitive now. The Chargers are the only team that seem like they can't catch a break after losing to the Detroit Lions, and in all honesty, they could lose to the Packers. I see the Chargers at the bottom of the AFC West this year, with the Raiders in second place. The Broncos are starting to look like a pretty good team under Sean Payton. Either that or they caught Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen on really bad days. But I still think they come out third in the AFC West. I can't wait to see what the rest of the season has in the works because the NFL scriptwriters have really outdone themselves this year. I'm just happy that the bad man is gone and that we have a real Raider running this team. All right, Raider Nation. Highlight Hendo signing out. I'll see you next time. Peace.